What 290 here, diamond and 290 here, diamond and 290, 290 diamond and 7 half her diamond to get 290 on and big dog. 290 here, diamond all in. Now 2 and a half, 292 at a time. Got you blocked, sir. Now 5. 295 and 97 half 300 on and diamond and 3 here and 2 and a half here down 5. 305 on 507.
I'm gonna go bankrupt if the fucking oil prices don't stop going up. Against esto all out. Please don't ask for diesel, Bob. Please don't ask for diesel. Yeah, hello?
Hey, pa, can you fill up that fuel card? Hello?
Güey, pero si te di esta mañana, güey, ¿qué pedo otra vez?
Pues sí, bro, I need to fill up the truck, güey.
Vato, le estás pisando. Fucking take your foot off the fucking gas, vato. This is not a fucking truck. Race truck, pa. It's a fucking 18-wheeler.
No, pa, no, I'm going to living, güey. Nomás que se me acabó.
Chingada madre.
Welcome back, you guys. You tune into the Southern Economist. This morning, we're talking about the gas prices. It's crazy. Diesel in the car and the big rigs. Let's get into these videos and we go talk about it.
Chingada madre, güey. I'm gonna go bankrupt if the fucking oil prices don't stop going up. Against esto all out. Please don't ask for diesel, Bob. Please don't ask for diesel. Yeah, hello?
Hey, pa, can you fill up that fuel card? Hello?
Güey, pero si te di esta mañana, güey, ¿qué pedo otra vez?
Pues sí, bro, I need to fill up the truck, güey.
Vato, le estás pisando. Fucking take your foot off the fucking gas, vato. This is not a fucking truck. Race truck, pa. It's a fucking 18-wheeler.
No, pa, no, I'm going to live. Nomás que se me acabó.
Chingada madre.
Se me acabó.
¿Dónde estás, güey? ¿Dónde estás?
Pues I just got here to Kentucky, güey.
Okay.
I stopped at the gas station.
¿Y para dónde vas otra vez, güey? ¿Para dónde?
To New York, güey.
¿Hasta New York?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Bronx, I think.
Okay, pues, ¿sabes qué? Hey, turn the fucking truck around, pa. I'll fucking talk to dispatch, tell them que valió verga. Turn it around, pa. Yeah. Okay?
Okay, está bueno, no hay pedo, but I'm gonna need gas to come back también, güey, so...
Okay, pa. Ditch the fucking trailer. Call the police and tell the fucking police that someone jacked you, pa. That someone fucking jumped you and took everything y... Ahí déjalo en un pinche canal, güey, la trailer. But bring the truck home, okay?
Okay, but I'm still gonna need diesel to come back, güey, so... Hello?
You want me to do everything for you or what, güey?
Pues, this is your company, güey. ¿Qué quieres que haga
Oh,
yo?
Simón. Okay, güey.
¿Qué pasó, güey?
Quema la pinche troca, güey.
¿Qué?
Quema la pinche troca y quema la pinche trailer, güey. Burn all that fucking truck down. Me vale verga. I'll fucking get the insurance and tell the fucking cops. Call the cops and tell them that some hobo, vato, was there, te estaba pichoneando and you got mad y todo el pinche pedo y quemaste la troca, güey.
Vato, I'm not gonna burn the truck down. That's arson,
me vale verga, vato. Me vale verga. Remember that time that I caught you drinking in my truck, vato? I didn't call the police.
Vato, pero...
I didn't call no one, vato. If it was for me, you wouldn't have your CDL, vato. ¿Y qué dijiste tú?
but it's not the same.
No, cabrón. ¿Qué dijiste tú? Me dijiste, I'll do anything for you. Please, thank you. My family appreciates this. So póngase vergas. Now is your time to shine, pa. Me vale verga. Fucking burn the truck. And I don't know how you're gonna get home, vato. But if you get home, I'll give you your check, vato. Okay? Me vale verga.
Güey.
Bye. Pinche trompa, güey. No vales vergas. Fuck.
With diesel fuel prices skyrocketing across the country and only getting worse, if you're a new owner-operator or you're a fleet owner, you need to know two words: fuel surcharge. Now, in this industry, business is business, and most brokers understand that during unprecedented times like this, where diesel fuel prices are skyrocketing almost overnight and they're continuing to trend up at an alarming rate due to the conflict in the Middle East, they know that you're not just basically trying to get more money out of them. They know that you're going to need more money to run your truck, and most times you can negotiate that into your rate. Two things, though. If you have a broker who acts like, they don't know what you're talking about, I probably wouldn't work with them. To be honest with you, if they're not willing to give you that fuel surcharge, I would say, sorry, we're going to have to cut ties, at least temporarily, unless you guys are willing to, cough up more money. Or if the broker tries to act like, you're trying to pull a fast one on them when they know what's going on, that's also somebody I would kind of distrust. But by and large, most brokers, they've been around the block. They've seen this happen before. They know what this is. But don't expect the brokers to come to you and offer you extra money. That's just not how business works. You can't fault the brokers for that. They're not going to volunteer to give you extra money. You as the owner-operator and you as the small fleet owner, depending on what you are, you need to make sure that if you have someone booking trucks for you, they know, and you know as an owner-operator what you need to be asking for the fuel surcharge. You can't just randomly justify asking for an additional $500 or $1,000 on a rate or something crazy like that. You need to be able to tell the broker, hey, look, while you're doing the negotiating process, here's my numbers, right? Fuel has went up $1 per gallon, based off of, X, Y, and Z. I'm now going to need an extra 10 cents per mile on this load. It's 600 miles, 10 cents times, 600. How much extra is that on the load? That's what I'm going to ask for, right? That's the type of math you should be doing. You can't just say, hey, I need a fuel surcharge, buddy, give me a fuel surcharge. It's not their job to calculate what you need for a fuel surcharge. It's your job as a carrier. So have that number going into it when you book a load. Know what you need extra per mile, right? It's very simple. If fuels went up $1, it's usually, I think, somewhere around 10 cents a mile. It's been a minute since I've had to do this. But about 10 cents per mile, we'll say, is what you need extra. And then you're not having to pay that extra amount of money out of pocket, which is what has a lot of people scared right now. If you have good relationships with good brokers, which most people do, I hope, this isn't going to be a problem. But for the people who are just getting into the industry as an owner-operator or who are new to running a small fleet of trucks, this is a situation where it could be sink or swim for you. It really could be. Because like I said, the onus is not on the broker to reach out to you when they're booking the load and offer you a fuel surcharge. That's not how business works. Nobody's going to offer you free money. You need to be advocating for yourself, negotiating for yourself. And again, you don't just need to say, hey, I need a fuel surcharge, because the broker's obviously going to say, okay, well, how much do you want for a fuel surcharge? And if you don't know that number, they're going to laugh you off the phone, like they should, right? Again, know how much you need for your fuel surcharge based off of your fuel mileage, based off of the fuel price currently on average along the lane that you're going to be running, right? If fuel has went up $2 on the West Coast, but it's only went up, 80 cents here on the East Coast, you can't, you're not going to really be able to justify getting a broker to cough up, 20, 25 cents per mile fuel surcharge when you're running a load from Pennsylvania to Tennessee or something like that, right? That's just not going to work. Just play it smart, do good business practices like you should, be honest. And I really think that we can get through this, but I see a lot of people panicking right now. I am no longer an owner operator. I'm not having to deal with this. I'm actually transitioning out of the industry, by and large. But obviously one of my goals here with this page is to still help people out. And this is one area where I don't really see the panic being warranted. Like, we don't need to panic right now. We can work through this. We can get through this. Hopefully this conflict in the Middle East does not go on for a very long time. And hopefully we can kind of get things back to normal. Fuel prices were just starting to come down. So I really hate to see this for people. And I know this is going to have a toll on not just the trucking industry, but gasoline prices are going up. And unfortunately, whenever, brokers have to start asking their customers for more money, by and large throughout the entire supply chain, that will inevitably be ripple affected down to the consumer, right?
All right, here's why the fuel price actually matters for the truckers. Fuel is one of the biggest expenses a trucker has. Sometimes it's the number one cost. So when fuel prices go up, they're not just paying a little extra, they're paying hundreds more a week, sometimes even thousands a month. And the problem is, most truckers don't get paid more just because the fuel went up. So now their profits start shrinking. Loads that used to be worth it don't even make sense anymore. And if you're an owner operator, meaning you're paying out of your own pocket for all expenses, you feel that hit even harder. Now, some drivers end up turning down work, and some small trucking businesses, they can't keep up at all. But it doesn't just stop with them. Everything we buy moves on a truck at some point. Groceries, gas, clothes, all of that. So when fuel prices go up for truckers, shipping costs go up. And that's what gets passed right down to us. That's why this ain't just about some trucking problem. This turns into a cost of living problem for everybody.
So, owner operators, how are you guys handling this situation? Because yesterday I was at the pump at the TA in New Jersey, and I don't know if that was my eyes deceiving me, but the price looked like it was $7.47 per gallon. Because on the DF side, it looked like $4 or something, maybe $4.50. But if that was the actual price per gallon, my tank holds about 220 gallons plus. So that means if I were to fill up my tank, it would be $1,600, over $1,600. Now, owner operators, how are you guys handling this situation? Let me know.
285, don't say what high. What 290 here, diamond and 290 here, diamond and 290. 290, diamond and 7 half, diamond to get 290 on and bear down. 290 here, diamond all in. Not 2 at half. 292 at half. Got you blocked, sir. Now 5. 295 and 97 half. 300 on diamond and 302 and half, down 5. 305 on 507 half, diamond and 310, 10, 12 at half. 315 there, diamond and 17 and half, diamond and 317 at half here. Try again, sir.
Is anybody at all, I'm talking in any state whatsoever, seeing these diesel prices starting to go back down at all? Whew. We've been getting some really good paying loads. I won't lie about that part. It has been working out good for us. But overall, y'all, the fuel is ridiculously expensive right now. Is it going down? Is it going to go down anytime soon? Do we know? Does anybody have any type of update? I've been looking at it. I'm in Georgia, and it is still pretty much sitting at that same price, anywhere from as low as $4.99 to as high as like $5.69 a gallon, depending on, of course, truck stops and what area of Georgia you're going to. If you are running your trucks right now, what is your minimum rate per mile that you are taking? What equipment are you running, and what state are you running out of? How are the diesel prices affecting you? I made a video when this first happened, y'all, about the diesel prices. A lot of people said that they were going to be parking their truck. Hey, if it don't make sense for you, don't take the load. But has anybody seen any type of change in the diesel prices recently?
Now, if we go a layer deep, the real issue underneath is this ain't just fuel prices. It's the fact that the whole system is tight right now because truckers are already dealing with the rising costs across the board. Maintenance, insurance, parts, tires, everything going up. But the rates they getting paid, a lot of times, they ain't keeping up. So now you got high expenses, but not higher income. And that squeeze is what's the real issue going on underneath. Because when the margins get that thin, there's no room for mistakes. Now break down one slow week, one bad load, and now you're behind.
Independent truckers feeling the pain at the pump due to rapidly rising diesel prices, many having to eat the cost. And as Michelle Gili tells us, that's having a ripple effect as profit margins shrink, forcing some drivers to consider parking their trucks or leave the business entirely.
Huntington Beach-based independent truck driver Benny Martinez drops off a load of clothing at a distribution center in Carson. By noon Wednesday, he'd already been to Tustin, Corona, Beaumont, and back to LA County. That's a lot of diesel.
It's pretty bad. Once it went up to the $7 a gallon.
Just a few weeks ago, Martinez was paying $4.80 a gallon for diesel. He filled up before his afternoon deliveries.
$7.15.
And how much are you going to fill up?
I'm going to fill it up. Probably it's going to take close to 200 and something. This morning I put in 125.
The grand total for 3/4 of a tank of fuel.
Let's see, there we go. Yeah, I'm going to hit 250 right on the nose. Normally this would have been $125. It doubled.
In order to stay in business, Martinez says he's added a gas surcharge to the bill that amounts to 35% of the delivery charge.
When I'm charging the client, I add another 35% to the initial charge. So at a $300 charge, it'll be $395.
Higher prices for fuel often has a domino effect for consumers. UCI economics professor Gary Richardson says we should expect to pay more.
Almost everything you purchase is made somewhere and shipped to you, and the shipping's more expensive because the fuel for trucks, for cars, for planes, for trains, all has gotten more expensive.
Martinez, meanwhile, is trying to stretch out the diesel in his tank by driving slower. He's also cutting back on his personal spending.
The other day I ran from Carson to Valencia back to Corona, and you just have to basically do the dollar menu, you know?
In Carson, Michelle Gili.
So this is my opinion. This ain't just about truckers struggling. This is a warning sign because when the people move, everything in this country started getting squeezed tight with fuel costs. That tell you something is deeper. You can't keep raising the cost and on the backbone of the system and expect everybody just keep running smooth. At some point, something gives. And what we can learn from this is simple. Everything is connected. When fuel goes up, it hits truckers. When truckers get hit, shipping goes up. And when shipping goes up, we all pay for it. So if you just sit here wondering why the groceries is high and why everything feels expensive, it's not random. It all ties back together as one thing. And honestly, this is why people feel like they working hard, but getting less. So yeah, pay attention to stuff like that. It might seem like it's not a problem at first, but it always circle back around. If you made it this far, go ahead, hit the like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think down below. Are truckers getting hit the hardest right now, or is everybody just feeling it in different ways? I'll see y'all on the next one. Keep your eyes open. I'm out.
True, don't get sugar-coated. Keep it real so you know we gon' be speaking on it. Got the latest headlines on what's going down. We keep our eyes open before it all hits the ground. Southern Economists, hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. Real talk, real true, real life, we go survive. I got my eye wide open for when the markets hit the ground. You got them pockets wide open when them dividends come around. Oh baby, just hit that like, subscribe. I might teach you a little something about how to make $1 out of dime. I'm a real prepper, stockpiling before the shit hit the fan. I only trust in God, I don't depend on man. True, don't get sugar-coated. We keep it real and we keep it rolling.